that we should be buying rebalances. So what causes a rebalance? A single print. So when we think about this, when we take out a high price, we start thinking about where those rebalances are. So we just have to highlight any high price point. When we take out a high price, we try and find where the rebalance is. Now, we could have started that exercise after we took out this high price here. Of course, that means that the rebalance price is, of course, the cash open. Well, that's absolutely fine because we come back out of there. We don't buy it on the way down because it goes through. We buy it on the way back up and we start taking advantage of the buy side RGL at that stage there. Buy side only. Now, we'll come back to the value in a second. When we take out a new cash high, we obviously have another new single print area, and this gives us a rebalance price here. Yeah, so there's our second rebalance price. And obviously that gets wiped out, and obviously we go back to the first rebalance price. So we start looking for buy orders in this rebalance again. We start the whole process over of looking for those buy orders coming out of this rebalance. Now, what's interesting is, of course, that we then find that we take out this high price. So when we take out that high price, where does the rebalance exist? Well, it's difficult to know because that's got a pin and it goes through it. But you'd have been in this area in the first place. And obviously that gives you a lot of confidence, the fact that it did pin away from it very, very quickly. So for me, the best opportunity to deal is that trade right there. Now, why is that the best opportunity to deal right there? Is it because it's cherry-picked? Well, first of all, this is a rebalance, okay? So we now know that this is a rebalance. That's the imbalance, and this is a rebalance price, right? Agreed? So our charts are correct. If we can all agree that that is a rebalance price, then I want to deal in a rebalance price area during a rebalance market. And this is the rebalance market. The imbalance is bullish, the rebalance is bearish. So that's going to be my buy location. Now the question is, have I got any reason to buy it? Or has the market maker got any reason to buy this price? In other words, does the market maker want to put a long inventory together at that point? Let's take a look at the dealers, first of all. Let's take a look at the option guys. Let's see if they thought this was a great buy price, because these are the main guys, right? What do you think of the option guys' choices? What do you think of the option guys' choices? Massive, isn't it? It is a massive buy opportunity. And if these guys make up 70 to 90% of the volume of the markets every day, you're going to look at that and say to yourself, you know what? That is sensational. Not good. Sensational. And it was sensational, wasn't it? We took out the top edge test, not by much. A little bit surprised that it came back out. And where's your new price? Where's your new price? Well, your new price is obviously going to be where? Well, your imbalance is now rebalancing in that location there, right? So there's your new rebalance price. And you just have it on your screens. So you're going to be watching for this now to trade as a buyer into that price area there on the NASDAQ. So you're going to start watching your value lines. You're thinking that that's probably what's going to happen. You can see there's been a little rebalance area there from the market makers going short. So you know that this is probably going to run through the sweep, which is just done. And anywhere between these two lines, a buy order might start showing up. And you just get positioned for it. You find your Voltics, you find your liquidity, you find your transition books, you start checking things like these things over here, you start finding stops, whether it's the NASDAQ, whether it's the S&P. Do you see the stops on the S&P there at 68.75? So you could have taken a quick 5-6 ticks on that trade already. So we're going to watch it again, and you're using your order flow to find those stops. Generally, as a rule, the stops will come in when we run these little sweeps to bottom edges. And we know that. Well, if we know that, we can get ready for it. We can be looking for it. We can be watching for it. No, not seeing the stops on that one. You can see on the NASDAQ here that you'd have thought we would have got a little bit more out of that in terms of some of that liquidity, but it is what it is. Still not seeing it. And if you don't see it, guys, guess what you do? Nothing. If you don't see it, you just do nothing and you go back to the next one. So we go back to the next one. Okay, so that's okay. I didn't see it myself. I didn't see where we were going to get the trade on, so we just moved to the next one. It's not that difficult. It really isn't. You just watch and you don't force it. You just read it as it happens. There's nothing forcing you to take a deal at that point on the charts. And I did get a buy trade off of 67 on the S&P because we had blue Voltics come in. And I was able to get a quick buy trade off of the S&P, made some nice money from 67s to 68.75 for 5 ticks. 6 ticks, 6 ticks. We got 6 ticks out of the deal, and I got a +1 and I scratched out at 6 ticks profit. And that's absolutely fine. And now it's came back into the rebalance at the bottom edge, and I'm going to do it all over again. Yes, I'm going to do it all over again. And there we go. There's the next buy trade. I got in at 65 on the S&P, 65 on the S&P, and it's just traded 67s. And I've got my stops at break even. And if it goes again, well, we'll let it go through this time, because now we're going to sweep the bottom edges because we're getting into that sweep zone. And I still like the buys because of the value in it. The delta in it looks really, really good. I like the idea of being long, and I'm going to be working longs only at the moment. It's crazy, isn't it? There she goes. There she goes again, guys. There she goes. Take a screenshot of the latest trade. It's quite fast moving, so I'll take a screenshot so that we can get you up to speed with what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. See how easy it is, guys? It's only difficult if you make it difficult. Look, do you see where my last buy trade was? You see the Voltics? My last buy trade was there, right? So we took a little profit and we got stopped out at +1. And then do you see the Voltics coming in here? I took a buy trade there and I got a little profit and I got it stopped out at +1. The price failed to take out the bottom edge, so I put another buy trade order in here. And this time I got filled on the Ninja Trader there, and I've managed to get another sweep off it. So I've taken 2 buy trades off of the same price, in the same levels, in the same location, doing the same things for the same reasons. Took a little buy trade in here. Took another buy trade in here. You see it? Do you see how easy that is? Do you see how there's no stress on that? There's no issues. There's no problems. It's just a case of getting the trade done, getting the trade on, hitting the buttons, and making the easy monies. There it is. Look at what happened to that trade, guys. Is that pretty good? Is that a pretty good takeaway from that bit of business there, guys? What do you think? $3,000 on an 8 lot. $3,300 on an 8 lot. $3,600 on an 8 lot. $3,900 on an 8 lot. This is a 100-tick chart, yeah. A 100-tick chart. But do you see what the deal is? It's not about that. It's about this, right? This is what it's about. Do you see it? It's not about what price you get or, you know, in any of that type of narrative. Do you see how amazing that trade was?